is that time once again as we welcome you back into yet another edition of the Grunge Bible Podcast. Coming to you today with episode number 212. My name is Chris Salona, and I am here with Ethan Shalloway. Ethan, how's it hanging, brother?
It's going well. It's a Sunday afternoon, and had my first competition of the year yesterday. I went to Alabama, to Tuscaloosa, University of Alabama, and competed. And I actually, I've talked about on the page a few times, so I can catch some people up on the athletics real quick.
Absolutely.
Last year was a tough year because I had that shoulder surgery and I was just playing catch up all year. And I really only threw 72 meters, 72.44. And yes, I threw 72.89 on my first throw. And more importantly, I felt like I had, 3 to 5 meters all day and I just wasn't timing up. I was doing a few of the same mistakes, but my body felt so much better, so much more ready. And there was a sense of confidence and setting up the rest of the year that I hadn't felt it's been, 2 years since I really felt confident in the way things were going, because it was just tough last year. And it's been a tough full year of training to get to this point. Like the fall, there was so much change and all these things. So it was really encouraging. My body is definitely feeling it a little bit today after all the adrenaline and, ibuprofen or whatever, caffeine, all that stuff that was put into the body yesterday to get ready. But I was pleased how my body got up for it. As we like to say, you got to get up, and we were ready. And just good things to come. So we're just focusing on our journey and our game, because that's all you can do. And the older you get, the more you understand that too, especially in this event. So yeah, it was pretty encouraging. Like I said, it was right under 240 feet. And it's funny, I texted my brother, and because we do, everybody internationally talking meters, but in the high school,
nobody knows what it means here domestically.
You talking feet, and in college you switch, but for this one, 73 meters it doesn't sound that good. But if you say 240, that sounds yeah. That sounds that sounds pretty good, because so you pick and choose when you use feet and meters, basically. Yeah. So right under 240 feet.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good. So today I'm just going to rest and recover, watch the Masters. We got to we'll know the results at this point, but there's a good matchup. A good rematch of the U.S. Open where Rory and Bryson took it to the final hole. So same thing today. Bryson nailed a long putt yesterday on Saturday to bring it to within 2. They're both playing really well. Definitely the cream of the crop. So I'm excited because it's sports drama and tradition like no other. So we're pumped up about that. And I'm happy to be here talking on the podcast. So that's my side.
Nice,
Chris,
man. Yeah, dude.
How are you doing, man?
Definitely happy to hear, those updates. There's something so liberating about having the confidence, getting back on the runway and knowing that you have the ability to be aggressive with it now. Because there's so many parallels, I think, to any sport, if you've done sports, and certainly same thing for me. I'm trying to with weightlifting and everything, my snatch I've been working on a bunch, and you reach a point where it's you just have this confidence. It's hey, I know that I'm capable of these things, and it's not I have to make sure that everything goes right, and it's a big if I can tie it all together. And then now this year, as opposed to last year, you've got the confidence, you've got the base, and you've got a solid shoulder to be working with now. So
there's two things I like to say that are contradictory. And one is you got to fake it till you make it, right? There's a point where you're you really got to act like you're better than you are. You got to really believe in it, and you got to fake it till you make it. And there's a sense of carrying yourself that it does turn into something. But then the other thing I say is you can't fake confidence. A ton of coaches will be just go in there, be confident in your training, be confident in yourself. And it's dude, if you didn't put in the work and you actually don't feel confident, you cannot true confidence is because of consistent training and just doing things well, and it is irreplaceable. You can't fake confidence. You really can't.
It is such a lonely feeling, and I know you've been there, as I have been too, athletically. It's such a lonely feeling trying to fabricate it in real time.
So
it's
hard.
you step on the platform, or you get in the ring, or you get on the runway, and you're doing everything that you typically do to try to be confident and project that into your event and into whatever it is that you're doing. But it just feels so hollow at that time. That's always tough. And it's just like, I don't know that I can rely on like what I have inside of me, because I don't feel like I have much inside of me right now for this. And such a bad feeling. But on the other hand, when you do have that solid body of work, how sturdy you feel in the ability to like, hey, like I'm going to go attack this thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like that's something that's earned, obviously. And the shitty thing is like, you have it, and like once you have it, you don't have it forever. You have to keep nurturing it and cultivating it, because it comes and goes, obviously. But it sounds like it's definitely coming. It's not going right now. Yeah. So I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, a little contradictory, but both things are true at times. But yeah, you just can't fake confidence. So get your reps in, kids.
Absolutely. Do your accessories, make sure you warm up. Don't be cutting those corners.
Consistency is key.
Absolutely, dude. Awesome. Yeah, I'm good. It's a Sunday, as you said. Had a nice day yesterday. Had a really good lift. Then hung out with some of the fellas and had some beers. Had some bar food. That was good. Got home last night. I was gonna watch a movie, and we talked on the phone yesterday. And like I fell asleep like 25 minutes into the movie, and I was like, I'm not gonna watch this movie. Like I'm just gonna get in bed. So I did that and got up this morning and went to the gym and stretched, did all of those things, and now I'm back home casting a pod. So happy to it's only it's 12:30 my time right now, so I'll be done with this thing pretty early in the Sunday and have the rest of the day to myself before another week begins. So I'm happy about that. So things are good, man.
Yeah, you just mentioned having a beer with the fellas. And I was thinking, I heard a saying yesterday that for some reason I thought was great. Someone said like, yeah, he's trying to be a lad among the boys. And I loved it. Like when the boys are together, you always got that one lad that leads, that is doing something, leading the party. You're trying to be the lad among boys, among all of his boys.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'd like to think, the people that listen to this podcast are definitely lads amongst boys. Like they're like the ones that you can count on to, bring the energy,
do something
and
special.
Get into some good stuff. And we have a lot of people that do a lot of special things for us. Most notably, the financial support that we get from the lads amongst the boys here in the Grunge Bible world. So if you're looking to become a lad amongst boys, you can join our Patreon, which is linked in the show notes. We have a $2, $5, and $10 tier,
and 15, Chris,
and 15, and we didn't
even build that. Someone else built that, but it's there.
If they build it, they will come.
Let's make that our best tier. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, if you like what we're doing here and you want to contribute a little bit, you can head over to Patreon and I guess build your own adventure and
build a map.
Give at the level that you feel is appropriate. And we're grateful for everybody that does give to us each month to keep the lights on here at Grunge Bible Podcast HQ. If you join, we will reach out to you and you can request an episode and we'll add it to our list of episode topics. We'll get to them all in due time and it'll be great. So at this time, I'd like to thank the individuals who are in our top tier. And I guess the top tier is a $15 tier, which is Abraham is the cutest bass town ever.
Oh, yeah.
The Lone Ranger at the top of the totem pole there. But the $10 tier are chief supporters of this enterprise. All right, Bit Dusty, D-Boat, Black Hole Sean, Eddie Vedder got me through my second divorce, Doug Endy, Gochujan, Apona, Jamie Lynn, Jade Mercado, Carlene Salona, Michael Dooley Project, King Buzzo Stole My Hair, Nikki Six, Millie, Russell, Seattle 4 Fanboy from New Jersey, Sunshine Slackers, Sherry Matthews, and What the Fuck is Up Denny's. So thanks, squad, for the continued support, and we're happy to be bringing another episode to you here in April of 2025.
Yes, we are. I love that we have an S tier for Abraham is the cutest basset hound, which if you saw the pictures of Abraham, you would agree. So
because we've seen him,
yeah.
and Abraham definitely is. He's pretty damn cute.
Yeah.
So, hell yeah.
That's right. All right. So today's episode, we are going to obviously start with this day in music, and then we've been talking a lot about music discovery and things we're listening. I think we like to keep things really. Present if we can. I mean, of course, we go back into the archives and talk about all the old music that we love, but we want to do some more stuff talking about music that is happening right now, bands to follow along, albums that are coming out, tours that are coming out, and to kind of keep people, current with stuff and kind of delve into that more. And I think some episodes to come later, we're going to talk a little bit more about this topic. So today we're going to do I feel like it's like a soft opening we're going to do an extended This Day in Music type of thing. We're going to talk about some of the songs that we recently have liked and the different
Songs
diversity
of the week,
and
extended version.
yeah, and kind of like it's an EP of what we do. And so we're going to kind of just talk about some of our thoughts and feelings about finding music, or honestly just what we're listening to. A little shorter episode for the boys and girls out there, but we have some This Day in Music. Obviously, we would never skip that. So let's start there.
Absolutely. And I feel like you and I do a pretty good job of ping-ponging back and forth between like the old stuff, the historical stuff, the album reviews, the anniversaries, and then also kind of keeping it fresh with like, things that are happening in real time or stuff that we're listening to in real time. So it'll be fun. I mean, anything anyone's listening to in real time, there's a story behind why it's hitting for them. So I think it's always fun, just as music fans to chat about that, because, certainly for us, and I'm sure everybody listening out there, like none of us are listening to all grunge rock all the time. So, we got to expand the map every now and then and chat about, the different presences in our life.
Well, it's just like if you do a top 10 list of 80s songs, is it ever going to change now that there's no more,
right.
You know what I mean? Like once you have your list, you have your list. Once you have your opinion, you have your opinion. And I feel like that happens with, people, their opinion on 10 and where it stands in the rest of like it kind of stays there. So with new stuff, current stuff, I mean, the opinions change day to day. And I think that's why, there's a lot of podcasts are really, current and whatnot. So we're just doing our part to, I guess, work out that muscle. But before that, we always talk about the old stuff with This Day in Music. So, in 1979, the Doobie Brothers song "What a Fool Believes" hits #1 on the U.S. charts. And
what a song!
What a song! What a group! The Doobie Brothers, absolute electric band name. First off, and Chris and I, we have a special place for the Doobie Brothers. Some of their live shows, specifically, it was 1970
Santa Barbara, I think, in 1981.
81 Santa Barbara, dude. Oh, just a vibe, just a total vibe all the time. And I've been listening to like some yacht rock the last week and a half, and because it's getting nicer, and you want to feel those vibes, and it brings it every time, man. It's a very specific. They have a very specific skill set and a vibe creation going on, and I love it. This song's great.
I feel like the last year or two, in the same fashion that Creed has come back into the public consciousness of like people, one, listening to it, consuming it, whatever, but then also like not making fun, I guess, but just like having a good time with it. I feel like that's happened a lot with yacht rock. Like scrolling Instagram, like I feel like I always see memes with like Doobie Brothers music and like, drinking beer or whatever. It's like, my like 31 piece patio set, and it's like, the Doobie Brothers album and 30 beers or something. And it's fun that like stuff like that has kind of become like mainstream again, at least in different circles, because it's never a bad time to listen to some yacht rock, and the Doobie Brothers obviously are way up there. And Ethan, you are on record, if correct me if I'm wrong, but you're on record as saying that Santa Barbara 1981 show is the best live show ever.
I believe so.
Honestly, I don't really see a lie there.
No, there is no lie. And I mean, you just watch it if you don't understand it. And yeah, the yacht rock has definitely made a comeback in the last 2 to 3 years. I guess it's what they say, like everything old comes back. And there was a music box documentary made in 24 about yacht rock, and so they went into depth about the whole scene and whatnot. I think it's on Netflix or Max or something like that. And I actually haven't watched it, but I really want to. But like, if it comes back in documentary form, it's getting big again. So that was a year ago.
Absolutely.
And
I'm such a sucker for the documentaries, man. Like when they come back for stuff like that, hits the target audience easily.
Yeah. So I definitely, I'm going to be consuming that soon, because it'll just give a great way to get introduced to, really get engulfed in the scene of what it was back then versus like piecing it to, reading it and piecing it together yourself. Someone already did that for us. So yeah,
100%.
that concert though, Santa Barbara, man, is just so much fun. Like so much fun. Just a joy to watch. Like,
yeah. Well,
you'll know
in the
we
same
mean.
fashion for what we did last week, where we made a special exemption and linked the Much Music special with George Strombolopoulos for Lane. Like, we might have to link that Santa Barbara show in the show notes this week. I think it could be that important to discuss and just make sure that people listen to it. Speaking of which, I hope everybody did their homework last week and watched the Much Music special for Lane Staley that George did. That was I definitely took the time to rewatch that, as I typically do around the anniversary of Lane's death. But let's move forward 1 year, and this is kind of perfect timing, Ethan, just because of an individual that you got to see again yesterday for the first time in a little while. But on this day in 1980, Judas Priest released their album British Steel. Absolutely titan of an album with such tracks like Living After Midnight and Breaking the Law, which is an all-time song. And Ethan, I think we probably spill a little bit of lore about this album right now. I think now's the perfect time to talk about why it's important for us.
Yeah. When we were in Pittsburgh, the distance coach, a man named Adam Bray, was there, and just like us, who had gotten there. I got there in 2014, you were 2015. He got there in 2013, and he's moved around, and he's at Kennesaw State. I guess we're giving some information out, but it doesn't matter. He's in Georgia, so periodically, because I'm in Alabama, I see him at meets recently, because regional meets, and he goes to the same one, and we've been seeing him. And so when we were all together, he was a big Judas Priest fan, or at least he talked about him, mainly because he was coming to play at the Pete Center one weekend, and
Judas Priest played there?
Yeah, you don't remember this?
I do not remember this.
Judas Priest is coming in, and like he was like I think that's why he was listening, or he wanted to go, but we had a track meet, so we couldn't go.
Oh.
And but yeah, the Priest was coming through town. And but he would sing, he was like, breaking the law. And we would just, for some reason, obviously us and our young, we get excited and hold on to things. We thought it was hilarious, and he was a good coach, who was there for the people, and since then he's popped up throughout life, and it's been great. And Judas Priest has a special place there, and like we put him on our No Surrender is on our Louder Than Lift playlist, and then also Breaking the Law, which those are two great songs.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention No Surrender, which I think that didn't come out. I don't know much about
right.
Judas Priest, like that didn't come out until 2018.
Whoa,
which is crazy. Yeah, I just looked up. It was No Surrender's off of their album Firepower, which was released in 2018.
Say that again.
And it was I'm just reading off of Wikipedia. It was the band's first studio album since 1988.
Oh, so 30 years.
30 years go by, and then they come out with something like that. It sounds like it could have come directly after British Steel.
That's awesome, dude.
Which is absolutely crazy, because I know I've definitely had some, like there was this one workout that I was doing. I was getting ready for Squatober one year, and prior to Squatober, which is just like this exercise company, Sorinex, puts out like a program every October where you squat like 5 days a week and you PR at the end. It's great. So I was getting myself into Squatober shape, and when I used to do Squatober, like a week before it started, I would go in and hit some heavy singles just to prepare myself and get some bigger weight on my back just to acclimate. And the 1 year, I think it was 2018, so the song must have been pretty new at the time. I heard No Surrender while I was working my way up, and like I listened to it like 3 times in a row for like my last 3 singles of that day, and I got up to like I squatted like 495, like no belt, no sleeves or something. And it was at that moment that I knew I was ready for Squatober that year. But yeah, Breaking the Law, Living After Midnight, those songs are just, they're so good, man. And I'm not a big like metal kind of person, like certainly
hair metal.
I wouldn't even, I'm not, a connoisseur of Judas Priest, but there's a time and place, and speaking of songs that'll never go out of style, they've definitely got a lot of them. So yeah, it's great that we can celebrate the 46th anniversary of British Steel.
I can't believe it's that old. say that a lot. I mean, it's 2025, so anything 2000 is 25 years old, which is absurd.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's getting older and older. And yeah, Judas Priest, it's like one of those, there's things in life that when you hear about it, and I know that me and you do this a lot, like immediately enters a very specific like lore position without anything needed to be said. Like this guy right here, like all of a sudden he like this, I'm holding up a duck, like, you know, I show Chris and we know that, yeah, like these things are important. And like, I feel like Judas Priest, like breaking the law, it came up the way that it was presented to us. And we're like, oh yeah, we're just like, yeah, you can see Chris's page. Like they just become important. It's just like for whatever reason. So thank you, Adam Bray.
Absolutely.
All right. I think it's my turn.
It is your turn.
Okay, so this one's pretty random. 1995, Burl Ives dies of cancer at age 85. And Chris, you selected this one for the sole purpose of, well, I'll let you say it.
I mean, you just got to shout out a man whose name is Burl. So his full name was Burl Ickle Ivanhoe Ives. And he
Where
obviously,
is he
I think
from?
most of, he was born in Hunt City, Illinois.
Oh my, he was
so
American.
yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, you better believe it. Yeah, and I think most people know him just from the Christmas songs that he did, because he was featured heavily in the claymation Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, with like Silver and Gold, and obviously Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and like all the Christmas songs. But yeah, he was an absolute just machine. And you know, we don't name our kids things like Burl anymore, and I feel like we've lost something along the way. You know, I have to imagine there's not anybody out there being named Burl these days, but you know, Burl Ives was a great man, and you know, we remember him today on the anniversary of his death. That's tough.
Let's have a moment of silence, Chris.
Yes, let's.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. God bless Burl. And
so,
yeah, go ahead. You're up.
do you have anything else to say about Burl Ives?
No, that's it. I forgot I did that one.
Yeah. Well, in 1995, Burl Ives dies on April 14th, but on April 14th, 1997, welcome back, Burl Ives, because Creed's debut album, My Own Prison, was released. I didn't know this, Ethan, but their debut album, they released it independently on their own label, which was called Blue Collar Records.
Oh, that's
so
great.
Apparently they created a label to release their album, but then it caught on, and an outfit known as Wind Up Records re-released it later that year. Apparently it was recorded for $6,000. And I mean, talk about
Seems
like
like a
as
good
debut
deal.
albums go, like some of these, I mean, I just got to read the track list because it's fantastic. We got Torn, Ode, My Own Prison, Pity for a Dime, In America, Illusion, Unforgiven, Sister, What's This Life For, and One. And you know, the rock world was never the same. I mean, and talk about like the run that Creed went on. You go My Own Prison, and then you go Human Clay in 1999, which was released on September 28th, 1999, and then you followed up in 2001 with Weathered. You know, 3 albums to start your career. That's an absolute heater of a run that those fellas went on. So just great timing that we can commemorate the actual anniversary 29 years ago, or 28 years ago rather, the debut album of Creed.
And now they're playing yacht rock because they're playing on yachts, right?
Dude, they have been hammering the live shows ever since they like made their like quote unquote comeback. Yeah. I think like 2 years ago, because they reunited for that summer of '99 cruise in like 2022, which I think we did an episode on at the time.
We wanted to go. We were trying to get tickets from somebody.
Yeah, and since then they've just been hammering it on the road. I've not seen them. I mean, they're always touring with like Three Doors Down and like bands like Everclear,
3 Days
like shit
Grace,
like that.
yeah.
3 Days Grace, yeah, all those like Chevelle,
Offspring.
you know, yeah, all those bands. But happy anniversary to My Own Prison. I don't care what anybody says. That's a really good album.
You can say what you want, but we love it. In 2012, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Guns N' Roses, and the Faces are inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So sorry, we're talking about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame again, but
I hate the springtime for this reason, because it's always like the inductions are happening, the selections are being made, and like from like the end of March through like the beginning of May, like every single time we do This Day in Music, like there's something related to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that pops up.
Just think that somebody's out there that gets paid, their full-time job is like to develop the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and like, you know, they're in charge of basically people getting in and stuff, like, you know,
imagine what a job that is.
Yeah.
I mean, we've gone on diatribes against the Rock Hall of Fame, quite frequently on this show. So I'll spare everybody. Yeah. But I mean, if I had to like quick power ranking,
here I go.
if I that's like it's happened multiple times that I've been talking to somebody and like, you know me, I keep my opinions to myself, but they just like completely give their like entirely unsolicited controversial opinions.
I don't
on
like
stuff.
to get involved with this type of stuff, but I've been meaning to say.
Yeah, he's like, I like to hold my tongue when these things come up, but you know, I just can't right now. And like, they never hold their tongues about anything. But nevertheless, if I did do a power ranking of Guns N' Roses, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Faces, the top slots definitely go to the Faces. And I honestly, I might have to pick. I don't even know. I guess Chili Peppers number 2 and Guns N' Roses number 3, but it's like Faces, a lot of space, and then neck and neck Chili Peppers and Guns N' Roses.
Yeah. Chili Peppers and Guns N' Roses has a weird. They have so many bangers, both of them, like charts wise.
Right.
But
yeah, darlings of the industry.
But for that reason, for whatever it is, they become old for a lot of people. So
yeah. Certainly have for me. One more event on the calendar here. On this day in 2016, Prince played his final show before he passed away 1 week later on April 21st, 2016. So if my math is correct, that will mean that next week we will commemorate his anniversary of his passing, because the 21st is a Monday.
It exactly is.
So we'll probably talk more about that
I guess I'll
week.
save my story for when Prince had passed away.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not that it's great. It's just
we've all got stories.
We've all got stories.
Yeah.
So that'll wrap up This Day in Music. Thank you, everybody. We'll be back next week. Don't worry, we'll do some more.
Oh, yeah.
But it's cool. That was a solid list of stuff.
That's a good list. I'm a little upset though. I was hoping, as you do every week, I pray for Elvis, and there was no Elvis.
It's true. We didn't get Elvis, but we got Burl Ives this week, and we did a moment of silence. So that was first.
That was the first ever moment of silence on the Grunge Bible podcast.
I liked it.
So that was good. We need to do more of that.
I liked it. Yeah, I think I say we do more.
It's crazy because like as far as grunge is really like we've time and time again like mourned the loss of like Cobain, Staley, Andy Wood, Chris Cornell. Never once have we done a moment of silence for them. But Burl Ives.
Imagine if we've done it for every time that we've done an anniversary like that. We would be at a lot right now.
Yeah. Well,
I think moving forward, that's a new practice that we're going to be
silence.
doing.
Yeah. I think so for sure. So we'll have to do that. So
a lot of respect in that movement, in that moment. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is the ultimate sign of respect.
Awesome. Okay, so all right, we're just going to talk about some music recently that we have been getting into, and I have this one that I believe last week I was like,
you saved it last week, and you chose a song related to, I think, Alice in Chains or Nirvana or something.
So the band that I want to talk about, I found it through Instagram naturally. Something came up. He was performing in Austin, Texas, and the artist's name is Matt, but he goes by, it's Atari Matt. And so like the game system, like Atari. And he makes music with an Atari. And it's called like Chip.
That is cool.
It's really cool. It's called like Chip... not Chip Tech, Chip, like something. What's the word I'm looking for? Like it's a catch-all for like, I'm blanking on genres now.
I have no idea.
Anyway, so it's very like, it's very like computer based and like techie, but it's so cool. Like you'll know what I mean when I send it to you. And I'm surprised I didn't, because I sent
Dude,
it.
Atari Matt, the first album that they did came out in 2007.
Yeah. So he doesn't have much online.
There's not much out there. Yeah.
No, he has like 1,000, followers or 1,000 monthly listens or something on Spotify. But I listened to it and I was like, this is good. And there was like some people talking about the music, and of course everybody's like, listen to this, listen to this, listen to this.
Yep.
But there's two songs, Code Breaker, and this is off his one his one album that
Don't Fuck With a User.
And the song is Don't Fuck With the User is the one that got me into it. Code Breaker and Don't Fuck With the User, those two songs are just, they're sick. I don't know how else to say it. Like they have a build, they have like, it's very melodic. He loops it, he like samples sounds, he loops it. And and on his Bandcamp, he says, my name is Atari Matt, and I have been tinkering and making weird electronic devices for years and years and years, and have been making effects and noise boxes under the name Idiot Box full-time since 2011. I really enjoy making things that are interesting, oddball, and unique sounding. I design all my circuits, graphic layouts, and all that stuff. I do all my own screen printing and everything else involved. This allows me to sell at a very affordable price, which is extremely important to me. I know what it's like to be strapped, but still want to have cool stuff. Positive word of mouth is very much my top priority. So if you are down with the Idiot Box sound, please spread the word. And I just love it because he's been doing this stuff for, since he said 2007, and it's really good. I don't know if while we're talking, maybe you put it on and listen to it a little bit, but something special, something really cool about, like, I didn't even really, like, you see people do random stuff and sample stuff, and I guess it's getting more and more easier and easier to do. But like, this creativity just blew my mind when I listened to it. And these two songs, Code Breaker and Don't Fuck With the User, definitely start there. Because obviously, like, you listen to it, it's cool. And obviously, if you get like 8 songs deep, you're going to run out of stamina for it. You'll know what I mean when you listen to it. Like, it's very specific. And, but it would be like the video that I had found was him performing it. So he's sitting there, and like the beginning, it sounds like, he's breaking a code, like it's like all these weird things, but then it drops into a really melodic and like heavy bass heavy. And it's so cool and unique. And I'm just like, wow. And he's an older dude, long hair, exactly how you'd picture him. And
this is freaky. Like, I'm listening to Don't Fuck With the User right now.
Yeah. And it has a drop. They're both like, 5 or 6 minute songs. And there's something about it that really excites me. There's like creativity out there that, people, you have to have like a specific set of knowledge to like want to be creative in this space. It's something that it would be really hard for me to even like figure out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was really special. I don't know. It was just cool. And I listened to it and it would just like fit. There's time and place where it fits, but it got me really excited because I'm like, dude, there are people out there that are doing crazy cool stuff.
Yeah.
And, like I said, he's got, I don't even know, basically no followers on, he just does it. You know, it's so respectable.
That's super cool. It's always fascinating to me, like people that are able to build stuff like that musically, because like you can give in the same way that like if somebody like knows a trade or something, like you can give somebody that doesn't know how to build those things like all of the equipment, all of the tools that they need, but like there'd be no way to do it. It's like you could give me like whatever the hell he uses to make his music, and like I wouldn't know anything of how to do that. And just the fact that like somebody could look at like something like that and decide that it's like a musical instrument, like that's freaky. And I don't know, people's like creative brains are always fascinating to me, that like you could see potential in something like that and make something that's interesting. Some of like, I was just popcorning around some of his songs, like they're kind of sinister sounding and like super foreboding, like it's freaky.
Yeah. And you would think like he probably has it's a limited sounds to work with.
Right.
But that's why you could say it sounds the same, but like, that's what makes you have to be creative to get new sounds and new combinations. And it's really cool. And I was watching, I was like, this would be like first off, it was in Austin, Texas. So I was like, doesn't surprise me that you could pull up and find something like this. But
Yeah.
I was like, I would love to go see this live. Like imagine
what
like
that
going
would,
to a
what that
festival.
would entail.
Yeah, and I think some of the comments were like, dude, like if you were at a festival and I found this like in the middle of sets or something like that, you'd be a legend. Because like it's just it's the novelty around it is so cool, and I think that it's a performance. I mean, it's like it's special and it's a novelty, and you'll listen to it, but it's probably hard. Like I said, it's hard to like just kind of grind out some albums because it's not like there's no lyrics or anything like that. But really cool, and I was just I was excited to share it for sure.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. So is that like you've been listening to his stuff a lot this past week? Yeah.
Yeah, those two songs, "Don't Fuck with a User" and "Codebreaker," like just really catchy. Like when I've been going on walks and listen to that, and like it's good stuff for in the weight room.
Yeah.
At times, like it just kind of like you think you're focusing in big time. So
yeah.
The first night I was doing a puzzle and I did listen to like that whole album, and it was sick.
If
like
puzzle music were a genre, like it would be like that would definitely fall into it. That's just like that's the perfect way to describe whatever the heck Atari Matt's music is. It's like think if you're just doing a puzzle, like you want this on in the background.
Exactly, dude. And I turned it up loud, and like it was sick.
Yeah. That's really cool. And the fact that like it got your nod of approval, because I do know that like you're a puzzle guy. So like you can't
it was
just
1,500 piece puzzle. I needed them.
You can't just put anything on while you're trying to do a puzzle. Like, because I'm sure you couldn't listen to a podcast while you're doing a puzzle. Like, you're not gonna
you have
listen
to
to
enter
the
flow
news.
state.
Absolutely.
Your brain has to be just like very observant, not distracted.
Yeah, like the flow state for puzzles, it's like your mind knows not what your hands are doing. It's like they're just like operating independently. They just solve the puzzle.
Yeah, you have to see a piece and remember that you saw something similar to it. Where is it? Yeah. I love puzzles.
Have you listened to it like while you've been training at all or anything?
Yeah, I put it on. I've been on, it's one
What's
of those
that
things
like? Does it hit there too?
Yeah, it was, I mean, for me, and I put it on for like a throw session. I was like, this song, like, did you listen to Codebreaker? Did you listen to the drop in Codebreaker?
Yeah, I caught that one.
Really catchy, and I thought it was great. But of course, when you're showing somebody new something like this, like you're a little like self-conscious or whatever.
That's always a tough spot, especially if you're in like a specific scenario, like if you're like lifting like with your teammates or training partners, and like the leap of faith that it is to put on something
a little obscure.
Yeah, it's always strange. So like my gym, like my coach every so often, like I'll go in and like he's got the iPad which controls the music, and like every so often like he'll just like he's like, let's get a cue going, and like we'll just pass around the iPad and build up a list, and like it's always like the moment of truth. It's like how weird do I want to get, and like what direction do I want to go into, because like especially with like training music or lifting music, like everybody has slightly different definitions of like what's good in that environment, so it's always kind of like, oh, like where do I go? But that's always fun when you do that, because like we'll do it and it's anonymous, like you just cue it up, and then like we'll like try to guess like whose song is whose, and like the people that I train with, like they've become aware, unfortunately, of Grunge Bible, and like they've started to follow it. So like anytime anybody puts on like an Alice in Chains song or something, or a Soundgarden song, they're like, Chris, did you do this? I'm like, no. So like the grunge influence is spreading in that space. But yeah, man, that's Atari. I might have to cue that up the next time the iPad makes it around to me and just see what happens.
See what happens. There's another song that that is similar, but with way more like it's not an Atari.
Yeah.
But it's just really like boding, like just heavy bass, like repeating for like 3 minutes, and it's like trance like. And I love getting into a trance.
Yeah, absolutely. That's interesting. I like that. That's not at all what I've been listening to lately. So that's pretty cool.
So it's you. What have you been listening to?
Well, I think I've mentioned it the last like probably like 2 or 3 months, like on the podcast, but like I've been in such a drought in terms of being able to listen to something that's captivating. Like I've like tried the new stuff, tried the old stuff, all the old favorites, and nothing's really worked. So like I hadn't listened to music really that much in a long time. But for some reason lately, I've gotten really, really big back into Johnny Cash, and like all of those albums that he did with Rick Rubin, the American Recordings. Like I've just been hammering all of those lately. So like I've been like going for walks or like in the car or whatever, just like making dinner, and I've just been like hammering stuff like that because it's like Johnny Cash is like an old man, and he sounds so good, but like he sounds so old in some of them, and like their covers, they're like I don't even know their originals. They're like other people's songs and stuff. So like I've been listening to a lot of that stuff, and like I guess like in the grunge space too, like I have been spending some good amount of time with Soundgarden lately. Like I haven't touched Alice in Chains in a long time. I haven't really touched Pearl Jam or Nirvana. I don't really go there much to begin with, but Soundgarden's been hitting, man. They have the live album that they put out I think in the late 90s called Live on I-5. It's probably like an hour and a half long, I think, but it's really, really, really well curated. So like on the way to the gym yesterday and like getting ready for it, like I was just listening to that, and like that's been a good spot to go.
If only it was live on I-95.
Dude, I wish. No, it's the other highway on the other coast. Yeah. But I've been listening to that. That's been hitting pretty well. And kind of like not yacht rock, but like kind of like 70s like adjacent like groovy-ish music. I've been in a little bit of a zone with Three Dog Night, the band that does like Shambhala and Mama Told Me Not to Come. Like they're just it's just groovy and it just feels good. And like especially as the weather's turning, like I just want to listen to more stuff like that and kind of leave some of the other stuff behind. So kind of all over the place as I typically am, but at least like I'm listening to music again, and like I'm not bored of it, which is good because I don't force myself. Like I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, a lot of audiobooks and stuff, just because the music hasn't really been that compelling. And I feel like it's been a little bit since like there's been like a new release, I guess, that's really caught my ear. Have you listened to the new Bon Iver album yet?
Did it drop?
Yeah, it dropped. I think it dropped like this week.
Oh shit! I must have been. I mean, I didn't pre-save it, but that has been on my list.
Yeah, it just came out on Friday, like this past Friday, so it's only been out for a few days.
Yeah, 2 days. Yeah, I was pretty. No, but I'm gonna listen to that because I'm a huge Bon Iver fan.
Yeah,
and is it Fable Sable or just Sable?
Yeah, it's Sable Fable. So you were wrong.
Sable Fable. I believe. Yeah, so Sable is a color, I think. I remember I heard him talk about I saw an interview of Justin Vernon talking, and he's one of my favorite artists, composers or writers over the years. He's just so consistent and unique. And he talked about it, and he said he was really coming out of a long stretch of what people would consider depression or not depression, just being like really confused about, say, like after the first few albums that he wrote that were so special and not easy, but I think it was like that after you make it big and start getting noticed, and like the way that he would write music was now under a microscope, or there was a lot to kind of go into it. And I think he finally, there's a lot of, he's so well spoken too.
Yeah.
And this album was like I think there's something to do with the name Sable Fable. I can't remember how he said it, but yeah, it's kind of like his first album that he feels really free and just feels really, say okay with some things, and like he's really coming out of it. And it's cool because I'm really excited to listen to it, and I think it's going to be great. I think I listened to the single that came out, and you just know what to expect. It's going to be good. I guess you could say it'll sound. He has a sound. So, if you get bored with certain people sounding like they do, then maybe you won't like it, but I'm sure that it's going to be great. So I'm excited to go listen to that. I knew it was coming out soon.
Yeah. It's finally out. Like I haven't listened to it yet. Like one of my buddies, that like we always go back and forth with new releases and stuff. Like he asked me if I listened to it, and like him asking me like made me realize that it was out. So it's something I gotta listen to this weekend, because I've just been like so behind. Like Lucy Dacus just put an album out that I think came out like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and like I've known that it's been out, but I just like haven't been in the mood to like listen to new music and analyze it a little bit. So
Yeah.
I'm starting to get back into wanting to do that stuff. So hopefully we'll get some, releases coming down the pipeline here and be able to
That's
do
like
those things.
Look, a new release comes out and it's like that day, and you quick send it to somebody, have you listened to this yet? It's like the same day that it came. Like say it was like 2 days ago. It's like
it's been out for 6 hours.
Yeah, I had one busy day, and I all of a sudden like I'm supposed to do the music guy, and I'm not caught up. But no, that's great. I'm excited, definitely excited to listen to it. But I know you're saying it's sometimes like you just gotta be in the right space. I've definitely been listening to my body when it comes to listen to podcasts or music, because there's like, okay, I want to focus, or I don't want to focus, I'm gonna listen to music, I'm just gonna like zone out, I'm just gonna try to feel it. So I gotta go back and forth and try to really,
well, the biggest thing for me that happens, and I think like why, like if something drops, I'm like, it's an artist that I like, but I just like don't listen to it right away. Like I just like, sometimes I just like don't feel like being in this headspace where like I'm going to be actively forming an opinion about something.
Yes.
Where it's just like, I don't know what this sounds like. I don't really feel like making a decision whether I like it or not, or figuring out what my favorite songs are. Cause I don't know. I mean, we do so much of that obviously, cause we do listen to so much music. So sometimes you just gotta step away and take a break. But it always comes back around a little bit.
I think no, this is, like I said, these topics will come up more, I believe, of like, the headspace going to listen and trying to, try not to like listen to, honestly, try not to look at the numbers, try not to like, how do you listen to something? Is it possible to like listen without like forming an opinion,
Right.
It's so hard to,
I think it's impossible if something's new, like if you haven't heard it before.
Yeah. It's like you listen, it's like, oh, it's new. It's like, what do? You run compare. Yeah. It's like impossible.
Mm-hmm.
But I was in the gym. I had Soundgarden in my ears the other day, and for a second the song stopped, or I decided to take it off, and I really thought that there's Soundgarden playing in the gym as well, and I was having Soundgarden Inception going in both the loudspeakers and in my ears, but it was I think it was Creed.
Damn it.
Common misconception, but
yeah, it's a very common misconception. I'm sure we would be. Yeah.
I'll go now too. The other day, I said I'm in this yacht rock mood, so I was playing some Steely Dan and Doobie Brothers, but I was kind of listening to the Steely Dan route, and I was driving my boss to pick up his truck, and he brought up the band Traffic, and I don't know if I sent it to you to maybe get a peek.
Dave Mason. Oh yeah, Traffic.
And the low spark of the High Heeled Boys came up, and I decided to, listen to it, and it had this, it's just like this, there is such a, it's like a detective type sound that came out of this era of like the bass, like the cellos, like really like, and it is so precarious. And I just, same thing with the Hollow Notes song that I sent, we talked about last week, the ability to like create a mood, specific moods back in the 70s and 80s and stuff, like, dude, they were kings at it.
Yeah, this is unbelievably like Rainy City detective music.
Pink Panther. Yeah. Rainy City detective stuff, like newspaper, coffee, cigarettes.
Yeah, exactly. Like you could just picture like some like really overtired veteran detective like sitting behind the wheel of like his Pontiac, like taking the last drag of a cigarette,
waiting for something to happen on the car.
Turning over to his partner.
Tailing.
He's like, "Well, partner, the streets aren't like they used to be." It's like, I've seen a lot of things in my day.
Oh, that's so good, dude.
Dude, I've got it playing in my head right now, and like it instantly transported me to that headspace.
I know, like I feel the same. Like we're sitting in the car together, like New York, man, can't believe it.
Yep. It's like
my God.
They always say this city will spit you out and eat you alive. He's like, I've never been much for that.
Yeah, it's like a poetic like narration.
Yeah. Dude,
man.
This is great. Who knows? See, here it is. I've been fatigued of music for a long time, and it's great. Like in 20 minutes, we've talked about Atari Matt or whoever the hell, and then Traffic,
Idiot
Johnny
Box.
Cash, like
Johnny Cash and Idiot Box paired with.
But it's funny because you do stuff like that, and like you talk about stuff like that, and it gets you excited about things that like you either didn't know existed or like you never considered it in a certain way, and that's always fun to do.
Yeah. So one thing I want to bring up, listen to this. And I know that you have a lot of records and vinyl,
Yeah.
and as do I. I'm building my collection. What type of album do you listen to and go, I need this on vinyl?
Oh man.
Because I'm listening to this right now of Traffic,
Dude, this
and I'm
would
like,
be amazing.
like
on the
get me the
turntable.
vinyl. Yeah, like I want this. I want the like vinyls for mood. Like
Oh yeah.
there are albums that work and there are albums that don't, and
Yeah.
this is 100% something you put on when you're obviously like cooking or something. You know?
Oh yeah. And just like this is exactly like I want this song to finish and I want to have to walk over and flip it over to side B.
Yeah.
You know, like that's what it's all
Exactly.
about.
Like,
It's funny
flip it
like
over, Tommy.
yeah, dude. Most of my records that I own aren't older records. Like for the last couple of years,
Right.
I've been of like, in order to support an artist that like just put out something new, like I'll pick up a copy of their record. So like most of my stuff is new. Like I haven't bought like an old record in a while, but I might have, because like that's the nice thing. Like a lot of them, like like you go bin hunting and you can find some interesting stuff, and like a lot of them are like $3, $4, $5, $6. So you can pick something up that you maybe like one song on, or you don't even know that much about. It's like buying a lottery ticket, and you throw it on, like you said, while you're cooking, or maybe while you're doing a puzzle.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, big mood. Yeah, it's like I listen. There's albums I listen to, like the Wolfpack album that came out. I believe I brought it up. I think it was a song of the week a couple weeks ago. But Clarity of Cal, it came out like last month, and it just has a lot of it's jammy, but it has a lot of instruments going, and I definitely love like getting in the horns, or like for this strings and stuff, and that stuff immediately screams like vinyl. And wanting to, and I was like, man, this is the perfect record to have. Like all these songs there's like so full, and not that I obviously like any record I feel like, I don't know, will sound good in my living room type of thing. You know what I mean? Like I've listened to everything, but these older, like Doobie Brothers record sounds like something I need to have right now.
Yeah. Well, don't
Okay,
you
I
have
just need
you have a Paul Simon record, right?
Yeah.
And that sounds great once you fire that up on the turntable.
Oh yeah.
It's
That's
just
my
like
first one.
Stuff like that, man, that you gotta have. You gotta set the tone with something like that.
How many records do you think you have?
I probably have like 30, 40, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, not nothing, but certainly more. I need to invest in like a better turntable and like some speakers and stuff. But it's just like I never feel like spending the $200 or $300 or whatever that it's going to take to do it. But I really should.
That's another tough one. When you talk about turntables, it's like, do you want to, like, there are new ones, obviously. Like, do you get a new one, or do you like, the old ones are good too. If you can find like an old refurbished, or an old, like, well-kept one. Yeah. Like, which way do you go? Do you get high-tech vinyl? I guess why not? Why not, right?
There's always choose your own path.
Anything else that you have that you'd like to bring up?
No, dude, that's about it. Which is good, because after this conversation, I've got some recommendations from you that I'm not familiar with at all that I can sink my teeth into. Especially, this. I think I'm gonna listen to this whole Traffic album and just see where that takes me. It's like a little rainy out here today too. I'm gonna be cooking a little bit, so it's gonna be great. I got to do my meal prep for the week, so I'm just gonna hammer some Traffic while I do it.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, man.
I think I might do that too. Maybe when I get into the
could be the move
into the sauna.
Yeah, dude, that'd be sweet.
The only other song that I'll bring up is one that when we posted the James McMurdy, I was looking through the comments and everybody was talking about Choctaw Boogie.
Yes, that's
Bingo.
the first,
Choctaw Bingo.
That's the first one that it's off the same album that Canola Fields is on, I think. And like, after you showed me Canola Fields, I went back and I had Choctaw Bingo on a playlist like 5 or 6 years ago, like a long time ago. And yeah, that's a great song. Yeah.
So everybody's like, I just want to drive 100 miles an hour smoking a cig. And I was like, I need to listen to this song right now.
Yeah. It's like, say no. It's like, that's the best endorsement that you can give a song.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Yeah, you paint a picture in my mind about driving fast in a desert land or whatever, like smoking a cigarette, then yeah, I'm gonna be listening.
I'm gonna be listening to it, exactly. Yeah, man.
So it's pretty cool. I love obviously taking recommendations from you and my close friends, but I do love going and finding
recommendations from complete strangers.
Yeah, and not necessarily like when people post and be like, listen to this song, but you go to the comments and it's like, if you like this song, listen to this. Going like the second or third recommendation.
Yeah.
That's when you find some good stuff. That's where, you find good stuff everywhere, but you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Oh, I know what you mean.
Awesome.
Sweet, man. That's a good little conversation about what we've been listening to. So I hope we've given everybody maybe some recommendations. Certainly we're all over the place. I mean, all the artists that we've mentioned in the last 40 minutes or so, I think we've well equipped everybody, to choose their own adventure.
A lot to do.
See what they want to get into. So is there any yeah.
Yeah, I pulled up Choctaw Bingo on YouTube, and one of the comment of the year right now, it says McMurdy's got a hell of a damn nerve saying about my family like that.
That's amazing. I love the YouTube comments, man.
Yeah,
that's what it's all
but
about.
No, man, I think that wraps up a great episode.
Yeah,
staying current. Thank you everybody for sticking with us and listening.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do you want to pick like one song a piece to add to the Songs of the Week playlist?
On top of the ones that I said, no, I think that Atari Matt and Traffic are your two spaces from my side, and
cool.
For sure. So
yeah,
I'll stick with that.
Yeah, add one of the Atari Matt songs, and then I'll co-sign the Traffic song, and we'll put those two on because
low sparks of high-heeled boys.
Oh yeah, it's perfect. Who the hell knows what it means?
I know it's such a good name.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and of course, Traffic. That's a great band name.
Yes, it absolutely is. Yeah, they don't make them like that anymore, man. I'll tell you that much.
No, they don't. They really don't. So, all
right,
everybody. Thank you so much. We'll be back next week with a special episode. So keep your ears and eyes peeled.
Absolutely. Have a great week, everybody.
Week is special.
It's always special. Rock and roll, everyone.
Rock and roll. See ya.